I don't really take on pressure from everyone else, just myself. I am quite hard on myself, and I expect a lot from myself. Sometimes it can be a good thing though.
In mixed martial arts, there are fighters who win fights, and then there are fighters who redefine what it means to be dominant. Dakota Ditcheva, known to fans around the world as the Dangerous One, belongs to that second group, the rare breed of athletes who can strike fear into their opponents before the first punch is even thrown. Born in Manchester, England, Dakota's story begins in a household built on discipline and determination. Her father was British, her mother Bulgarian, and her upbringing was steeped in the mindset of champions. Her mother, Lisa Howarth, wasn't just any parent, she was a world kickboxing champion who passed on her strength and competitive spirit to her daughter. Fighting wasn't simply a sport in their home, it was a way of life. Dakota grew up in a world of sweat, gloves, and constant movement. By the time she was a teenager, it was clear she wasn't ordinary. Every strike she threw carried precision and intent, and every sparring session brought her closer to mastery. Her foundation in kickboxing and Muay Thai made her a complete martial artist early on. She learned how to stay calm under pressure, how to read an opponent's rhythm, and how to control the chaos of a fight. People watching her train saw something special, not just a fighter, but a future champion who carried both grace and menace in equal measure. In 2022, Dakota took the leap into one of the sport's biggest promotions, the Professional Fighters League. For many fighters, the PFL is a proving ground, a place where the toughest athletes from around the world collide. But for Dakota, it was a stage waiting for her arrival. In her first year, she wasted no time in making her mark. Her first two fights didn't just end in victory, they ended in destruction. Both were first-round knockouts, each one more brutal than the last. Commentators were stunned by her accuracy, and fans began calling her one of the most dangerous prospects in women's MMA. She didn't scream after her wins or play to the cameras. She simply smiled, calm and confident, as if she'd expected it all along. By 2023, Dakota entered the PFL Europe tournament, a brand new competition with a £100,000 prize and a roster full of hungry fighters. Her first opponent, Minna Hermansson, was a tough and experienced competitor. But Dakota made it look effortless. After dominating the striking exchanges, she shocked everyone by finishing the fight with her first submission, a textbook rear naked choke that showed her evolution from striker to complete mixed martial artist. The arena erupted. She was no longer just a knockout artist, she was becoming an all-around threat. Her next test came against Cornelia Holm, a Swedish grappler with a reputation for brutal submissions. Holm promised to expose Dakota's weaknesses and insisted that her experience would carry her to victory. But the moment the bell rang, Dakota flipped the narrative. Holm lunged for takedowns. But Dakota's balance and timing made every attempt fail. She punished Holm with crushing knees to the body, each one echoing through the venue. Holm clung to her in desperation, but the punishment only grew worse. In the second round, Dakota landed a sharp right hand that sent Holm stumbling backward, her eyes dazed. Instead of chasing wildly, Dakota stayed composed, waiting for the perfect opening. When Holm tried another takedown, Dakota countered it with power, taking her to the ground herself and threatening a choke. The crowd could feel the momentum shift completely. By the third round, Dakota's dominance was total. A clean 1-2 followed by a high kick ended the contest decisively. As Holm fell, the referee stepped in, and Dakota raised her arms in victory. She celebrated with a grin, performing Erling Haaland's famous celebration, while her opponent struggled to stand. She was now heading to the finals, and her legend was growing fast. But her toughest battle was still to come. In Cape Town, South Africa, she faced Sumiko Lady Samurai Inaba, a fighter known for her raw aggression and iron chin. Inaba promised to test Dakota like never before, saying that once Dakota felt her power, she'd crumble. When they stepped into the cage, the air was thick with tension. Neither woman touched gloves. The respect would have to be earned. From the opening seconds, Inaba charged like a storm, forcing Dakota onto the fence. But the Brit's composure never wavered. She countered with crisp punches and elbows, her timing razor-sharp. Every exchange left Inaba marked and hurting. Dakota's Muay Thai was on full display, knees to the ribs, elbows over the top, and pinpoint footwork that made her impossible to corner. Inaba, as fierce as ever, refused to quit. She absorbed punishment and kept moving forward, her face swollen but her will unbroken. In the second round, Dakota's right hand began landing at will. One clean shot made Inaba stumble, and the crowd gasped. Still, the Lady Samurai stood tall, swinging back with wild determination. But every strike she threw opened her up to Dakota's counters, knees, jabs, and body kicks that tore her down piece by piece. Then, in the third round, something unexpected happened. Dakota broke her left arm mid-fight. The pain was obvious, but instead of retreating, she adjusted instantly, relying solely on her right hand and her knees to keep control. Most fighters would have folded, but Dakota refused to give Inaba any advantage. For the remaining minutes, she fought one-armed and still dominated. When the final bell rang, the decision was unanimous, 30-27 across the board. It wasn't just a win. It was a statement of willpower. Afterward, Dakota admitted she was heartbroken by the injury, but her performance had already proven her toughness beyond question. Her road to greatness had begun years earlier, long before the PFL spotlight. Back in 2020, in the UKFC flyweight title fight, Dakota had faced a confident Irish fighter named Shauna Bannon, a skilled striker who believed her experience would overwhelm the younger Ditcheva. The build-up was fiery, and when the cage door shut, the tension exploded. From the first round, Dakota controlled the pace. Every time Bannon tried to close the distance, she paid for it with punishing knees and heavy punches. The crowd could see the power difference immediately. Bannon, known for her grappling, tried to drag Dakota down, but each attempt failed. By the second round, Dakota's leg kicks began to take their toll, chopping at Bannon's base until her movement slowed. Dakota's precision was surgical. She flowed between striking and clinching with ease, delivering knees that echoed through the arena. By the time the fight reached its final moments, there was no question who the better fighter was. The judges declared Dakota the new UKFC flyweight champion. She jumped into her mother's arms, tears in her eyes, as the crowd erupted in cheers. It was the moment that launched her into the global spotlight. By 2024, Dakota had evolved from local champion to one of the faces of women's MMA. Her next challenge was the biggest of her career, the PFL America Championship in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, with a $1 million prize on the line. Her opponent was Brazil's Taila Santos, a battle-tested veteran who had gone toe-to-toe with Valentina Shevchenko. Santos mocked Dakota before the fight, calling her a Barbie fighter and pretending to apply lipstick. Dakota didn't respond with words, she planned to respond with violence. When the fight began, Dakota refused to touch gloves. The moment the bell rang, she controlled the distance with jabs and long kicks. Santos, known for her grappling, tried to close in, but Dakota's takedown defense was flawless. She kept the fight standing, punishing Santos with precision strikes. Each jab snapped the Brazilian's head back, and every knee drove the air from her lungs. As the rounds progressed, Dakota's dominance grew. Her footwork was fluid, her timing perfect. In the second round, she landed a devastating front kick to the face, followed by a rapid combination that sent Santos stumbling backward. The crowd erupted as Dakota closed in, raining punches and elbows until the referee stepped in to stop the fight. Dakota had just claimed the PFL America Championship, and the $1 million prize. Overcome with emotion, she picked up the lipstick Santos had used to mock her and applied it proudly in the center of the cage. It was the ultimate statement, power and poise in perfect harmony. Her mother joined her moments later, and they embraced in tears as the crowd roared in celebration. From her beginnings in Manchester to the world stage, Dakota Ditcheva's journey is one of resilience, focus, and unshakable belief. She has faced doubters, injuries, and fierce competition, yet she continues to rise higher with every fight.